So "L Save the World" is is a book. Um, it was really interesting to read, especially like way after Death Note. Okay, so my experience with Death Note is like casually, like passively enjoying it through pop culture. I watched the show up to I didn't watch the final episode of the show. It was one of those things that I got really frustrated with the series, and then I stopped, and then I looked back a little later where I stopped, and I stopped right before the last episode. I did that with Steven Universe too. um, so I never saw the last episode, and I also vaguely remember seeing the original live action movie. I think there's a second one out now. Which the apparently the this book, "I'll Change the World," is in the live action movie timeline. Um, and it's me and a couple people were joking around how it was like official fanfic. I mean, it kind of is. it's so it's so goofy. It's so like, I'm sure for fans of the series this is good, and it's just all kind of action slop. Like, it's fine. There's a lot of things I have problems with it though. For one of the major things that stuck out with me is there is a point in the book where, so L is running away from the whammy house, right? And he's being chased, and he's in this the crepes truck, and so um, he gets in the driver's seat, and he's described as driving the car, pinching the steering wheel with one hand, has a lollipop in his mouth in the other, and legs chested up, like tucked against his chest. What the fuck is on the who? What's pressing the pedals? What's pressing the pedals? It's actually so obnoxiously obvious like how obvious this thing is, because there's a line before that's like, um, Suguri is uh, like, L, can't you use the brakes? And it's just like, no, he can't even press the gas. Um, and there's some other stuff too that's like really kind of annoying with the writing. Like, it'll say constantly in it like, this character feels something that could be described as this, and it's like, just say the feeling that, or like everything has to be a mystery, because there's like one point in the book where it's like L and Maki are on the run, right, from the police, and they're doing research at an internet cafe, and it's like he's looking at Misa concerts in the area, and then, when they're on the run from the FBI, they go into this festival that has goth lollies, literally in the book described as goth lollies, one word, a lollygoth. I don't know. Anyways, it's like, why the hell are we talking about goth lollies? Misa's concerts at the festival. This is planned all the time. They use Misa to get away from the FBI. Why does this have to be a it's just everything has to be like. And then I'm looking back at the writing and I'm like, why the hell did we have to mention goth lollies? And while we're at the topic, goth lollies can only be from Misa. Um, it's just, it's such it's such an interesting book, as someone who, again, only casually engaged with the series, and it's like, I almost feel like I enjoyed what I did, but I don't remember any of it, and I feel like I almost miss out because I don't remember any of it. But also, I don't know, I don't have any desire to really read up on it, catch up and do whatever thing. It's just so interesting. Also, I wanted to know, because I recently read Dune, and in that book they use the phrase, like a Fremen way of thinking, and then they turn that phrase on its head, because that phrase is historically being like, oh, that's a black way of thinking. It's kind of a racist thing. This book uses that unironically. It says, there's one point where it's like, Japanese, it's talking about Japanese businessmen, and don't get me wrong, it's not as racist like Ready Player One, where Japanese businessmen are only like talked about to be killing themselves. But uh, in this book, it's just like they all huddle together and they collected. Just such a Japanese way of thinking. It's like, okay. I mean, it's good. It was a. I can't say that I didn't have fun with the book. It was fun. It was really short. It was like only 200 pages. Um, some of the chapters were literally like, oh, the whole chapter is this 2-page spread. It's like this. The whole chapter is just on this thing. Flip. Oh, next chapter. Like it. Some chapters are kind of long, but nothing. This is very. This like I read this book in like maybe 4 or 5 settings. I could have done it quicker, but I want to take breaks at some point for my sanity. I feel like that's. I feel like that's justifiable. Um. I mean, if you're a Death Note fan and you haven't read this, sure, but I don't know. I don't. This book, I think, doesn't really appeal to anyone nowadays. It definitely had its point in the limelight, and I definitely had fun with it. But it's just such. It's so goofy. It's so non-seriously, and it's kind of just. It's like, okay, this is one point. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to talk about this. This is another thing that peed me off. Was that there was one point where these two people, Sugiya and Kujo, are having secret meetings away from L, where L isn't supposed to know this, and so later it's revealed that L like listened in on their meetings, and it's like, okay, well, this place in the headquarters, the Kira investigation headquarters, right, doesn't have um any cameras, doesn't have any like noise things in it. So how did L know what was what they talked about? Because he called his cell phone. Now, okay, keep in mind, early in the book, they even make a point that not Kira, oh my god, Kira's not even in this book. L, L only has one cell phone because he has a cell phone per case, and the only one that he doesn't throw away is the line for the President of the United States. And then they say that he calls in because he's trying to look for his other cell phone, which, by the way, these two cell phones that he has are never talked about again because the only other cell phone that pops up is, again, the one for the President of the United States. And it's like, okay, I tried to call my cell phone and then I listened in. Okay, first of all, something ringing would have been heard, right? That's like the point of calling your cell phone, so you can hear the phone ring. And the other point is that someone would have had to pick up the phone for him to listen in on that conversation. And again, these are two phones that are literally only said to be used for this one like plot. It's so. At points, it feels like it is insulting your intelligence, and it's just like, this is Death Note slop. Death Note people will eat this up. Cause there was at some points where it's like, again, like him driving the car without pressing the pedals. I feel like somebody in a boardroom had to be laughing their ass off at that. I mean, again, I would say, like, how did this get published? But it seems like, I mean, at the time, I can imagine that, like, yo, I had this fan fiction. You want to publish it? Sure, let's get some money, because it was official. It had the Shonen Jump logo on it. Oh no, it had Viz Media. It had Viz Media on it. It had, like, I looked it up. It was an official book. Maybe I gotta watch the live action movies. Those sound like fun. I totally remember the first. But yeah, that book is it is a book. If you're a Death Note fan, sure. If anybody else, if you want a good book, a short book to laugh at, sure. Otherwise, I don't know why you would be reading this.